Hello everyone, this is Jay or Sloeo. It has been 6 months since the last time you've seen me in a long form video, so I apologize about that. Last time you saw me it was late winter and now it is almost the end of summer. It's almost fall time, but nonetheless I am back and we are doing a colored pencil video. I do know that 6 months ago when I posted the poll for what medium you'd like me to use next, it was gouache, I believe, or a wet medium of some sort. However, I saw the comments, a lot of people were very disappointed that colored pencils didn't win, and to be fair, a lot of times when I get comments on requests and using different mediums, it has always been colored pencils that are most vocal, so here I am using colored pencils again, so I hope this is something you're excited about. Also, before I forget, I am recovering from the cold, so if I sound a little nasally or congested later on, that is the reason why. But moving on, since it has been half a year since I've recorded audio in this way, please let me know if the audio sounds okay to you or if it's just horrible. I would just like a peace of mind, but I haven't changed any of my settings, so hopefully nothing has changed, but maybe the program I'm using has updated or maybe my mic settings have just magically changed. But anyway, the two drawings I had on the left were from references, and then these two that I'm erasing were also referenced. I ended up just landing on a headshot since I thought since my sketchbook is a lot smaller now, a headshot would probably be better for you guys to see all of the details and everything of this character. So yes, unfortunately, I did switch my sketchbook, and this might have been a thought in my previous video, if not 2 videos away, where I contemplated already about switching to a Moleskine sketchbook, and I do have quite a good track record of completing Moleskine sketchbooks. You know, for uni, both of my sketchbooks that I completed were big Moleskine sketchbooks. This one is a tiny one, the ones for school were big. But then again, maybe you can put into account that I took notes on them and then I did a lot of thumbnails and brainstorming on them. So hey, I do have other sketchbooks, other Moleskine sketchbooks that are of the size that I did more drawings in. So maybe one day in 30, 20, 50 years, we might get a sketchbook tour from me, but who knows? Also, I want to mention that I don't watch a lot of art videos or long-form art videos, to be specific, and I'm mentioning this because if my editing looks weird or my pacing is really awkward, that's the reason why. I primarily watch gameplays or I just listen to some story times on YouTube. I don't watch a lot of shorts, and if it's on TikTok, I just watch funny videos or whatever is on my For You page, and my For You page has no art related videos at all, so if I'm just doing really awkward camera movements, I'm way too zoomed in, that's the reason why. But let's get back into talking about the drawing. So this is one of my first original characters that I had, and I'm considering her to be an original character because I drew her twice, and also I knew she had a boyfriend and her boyfriend had red hair. So for younger me, this is a pretty big deal because I could never grasp the idea of having an original character when I was younger. Like, what do you mean you have this design that you're giving them an entire life, you're giving them a story, they have friends, you know? So it was difficult for me to always redraw a character design. But this is a funny thing to think about now, since I make a lot of original characters and I constantly redraw them. A lot of times I get the question of how I can find interest in redrawing my characters again and again, as in people would make characters and they just become designs, they never flourish as a character. And for me, the first step is always making sure that my characters have an association with another character, because by themselves, I do find them boring. I can't really do much with them other than drawing them do things, but when I associate them with a different character, suddenly there's so much more interest. Oh, how is person A with person B? How do they interact with each other? Are they on friendly terms? And then I can draw them doing things together, which I just find so much more interesting than drawing a character by themselves. This is also why I have twin or clone characters. It's just because I'm lazy, I don't want to redesign a character entirely. I can pretty much copy and paste them and then give them a different personality. So it's like 7 birds with 1 stone. Also, if they are twins, you don't have to think much about how they first met. Unlike friends, you have to think about, oh, did they meet at school? Maybe it was summer camp. How was the first interaction? If it's twins, they were always together, and I think purely by that, you already have a relationship somewhat in your head with the characters, and it's just so much easier to draw. But if you have more ways of how to stay consistent in drawing your original characters, or just be interested in your characters in general, please share. Now that I've gone off topic once, let's get back on topic about colored pencils, but I do want to applaud those that use colored pencils as their primary medium because it's such a time-consuming art form to do. I was sitting there and all I was thinking is, oh my gosh, I have so much footage and I barely have anything completed. I think by this point I have maybe 3 hours of footage, and I do speed up more later on, but because this was my first headshot that I'm doing for the recording, I wanted to be more meticulous, and because of that I just took forever. But not only were my hands sore, I ended up getting this paper cut in between my pointer and thumb, and so every time I'm gripping onto the colored pencils, it nuzzles itself perfectly between that spot that I got the paper cut, and I was just, wow, I was so frustrated, but the show must go on. Also, the plush that she's holding is a little crocodile. It is a plush that I own. That's why I ended up changing it from the cat to the crocodile. I saw that somebody commented, oh, Yoshi, so cute. It is a crocodile, but it doesn't have the tongue. I do have felt, so I might just hot glue a homemade tongue onto the crocodile plush. I just wanted her expression to be similar to what the crocodile is doing, so that's why she's just staring face forward and having her tongue out. This also gives me the chance to give her a tongue piercing. And this also reminds me, in one of the drawings I found of her, she is holding this beanbag plush of a chicken, and the chicken has a tuft of red hair, and that's associated with her boyfriend, or I'm assuming that's what younger me wanted to do. So now that her boyfriend is associated with a chicken, what if she's associated with, you know, a crocodile? So eventually, maybe one day I can draw her with a crocodile onesie and then her boyfriend with a chicken onesie, and then it could be a movie night type of thing. I thought that was cute. So maybe next time when we draw her, not my next video because my next video will be on alcohol markers, but next time we could include her boyfriend, design him in some way, and also include the crocodile tattoo I wanted to draw. The second drawing of her, which is the one on the gutter, it shows part of her torso, and I wanted to draw a tattoo on that part that is showing, but then again, like, her hand is blocking off part of it, and I wasn't confident enough to put it in there, so maybe next time. And also, when I was doing the sketch for the drawing in the center, which was a full body, she looks quite tall, and this is pretty similar to how I drew her first when she was holding the chicken plush. I'm saying all of this knowing I will not show you the drawing, but regardless, just believe me, she looks pretty tall in the original drawing. So I'm thinking maybe she could be 5'7", 5'8", but she could be taller, though. Do let me know what the vibes are. Does she feel like she could be taller, or is 5'7" good enough? But for her boyfriend, maybe 5'10", 5'11". I'm not a person that has a preference for height differences. I think the largest height difference I have between two characters that are meant to be a couple in the future is around 6 inches, and that's pretty large of a size difference for me. My one and only straight couple currently is, well, they're not even a couple yet. I'm just delusional with my own original characters. But Therese is 5'10" and Luca is 5'7". So she's only 3 inches taller than him. And yeah, like, for these two characters, for her and her boyfriend, it could be just 2 to 3 inches as well. Also, if anyone has a name suggestion for her, please do let me know below, and then for her boyfriend, we can think about that next time. Also, as I'm doing this voiceover, I'm watching the video play in the background, and I'm really proud of how I did her hair, and this specific color I'm using right now to line the darker blues of the strands, it's one of the best, like, softest blues I've ever used, and it's from a MEEDEN set, and I'm by no means trying to sell you on it since it's the only color that was so soft and so smooth. It was such, I don't know, it was so good. It held its point so well that I was just so impressed. But regardless, when I was using all of the grays and blues for her hair, I kept putting them in different areas. You don't see this because I'm so zoomed in, but on top of my sketchbook, there's just a handful of colors. To my left, there's a handful of colors. To my right, there's a handful of colors. And I just kept putting them in different areas. So each time I went in to color her hair, I kept replaying my video, my footage, to see what colors I was using, and I'm pretty sure I got a couple of them wrong because a lot of the grays I was using looks the same, like the barrel looks the same. But yeah, I just created so much trouble for myself because I'm all over the place. I consider myself to be quite a disorganized person. I try my best to have all of my art supplies in the same area, but when it came to my Prismacolors, I found out the very hard way that I had a couple here, a couple there, some hidden somewhere, and I have one that's missing. I found out that I was missing one Prismacolored pencil by, in the midst of recording this YouTube video, deciding that it would be a fantastic idea to download a swatch sheet for Prismacolors and swatch out all of my colors. I wasted so much time doing that because I had to go around my room trying to find where my other colors are, and this is where I found out I was missing one because my biggest set of Prismas was the 132 set that I bought years ago, and I'm so grateful I bought some of these things a long time ago because I usually go online to check the current price of things, and Prismacolors are so much more expensive now. But anyway, I had 131 swatches, so I'm missing one color. I don't know where it is. I probably lost it many years ago because I did bring my colors out and about. I didn't always have them just in my room. But this reminds me of my first ever set of Prismacolors. I'm not sure if it was the 42 set or the 48 set, but I bought it from the Lafayette Blick store, and it has now since moved to Broadway. It's not that far away, but I do prefer the Lafayette location, I guess. It was because it was easier to get to and there's just not a lot of people walking around, but I get it. It's better for business. And also, I do know that a lot of people who watch me are Genshin players, so I want to talk a little bit about that as well. The new update for Snezhnaya came out, and I was really excited about that. Of course, I'm not up to date when it comes to the game myself, but I enjoy watching lore videos and other people play, and so I was really excited to watch other people, enter Snezhnaya for the first time, meet the characters, and my favorite character is Alosha. He is such a cute character design, and contrary to what a lot of people's opinions are about Zanitsa's design, I really love how she looks. Her color palette has to be one of my favorites. It's very reminiscent to how Xiao's color palette is, so I really like that. But if I had to pick one character that I am least excited about, it is Vesna. I am just not really into fairies, I guess, like the fairy wings and everything. Also, I'm not going to be spoiling the quest or anything, the Archon quest, so don't even worry about it. I'm primarily just talking about the characters. So currently, I really love Mitya's design, and it is with his scarf that I really like because what do you mean your scarf is sentient? And I saw a lot of people comparing his design and Vodyanitsa's design to the Danganronpa, I can never say it correctly, characters, the white hair guy and the first game, I don't remember her name either, but I think a lot of people know what I'm talking about. I feel really bad because I'm just straying off the path as much as possible because I don't have anything that's really on top of my head that I really want to talk about, so I'm just talking about my interests, I guess. I do apologize, but I guess it is to be expected. I'm assuming my other videos were similar where I didn't have a topic I really wanted to talk about, and so we were just talking about anything and everything. But since we are working on the tights, I can definitely talk about that and the headache I had with it, which is also why I skipped the entire part of the recording for that. Primarily because I just didn't record it. I think this is an experience that's very common to many that record their drawing experience or just for others to see. When I'm recording myself, I feel a lot more stressed than when I'm doing it myself. And so when things are not going well, I tend to just stop the recording so I can focus purely on the mess that's happening in front of me. For the tights, no matter what I was doing, the design was just looking so awful. The patterning, I didn't have a pattern in mind, and I think that was my downfall. It was such a big area. I should have really went in with a plan in mind because I was going in with stripes and the stripes were not evenly spaced out. They weren't even the same size, so clearly I had no plan, and whatever I was doing was just the worst possible option I could have chosen. But I think I was also really hard on myself because I didn't have the shorts colored in yet, and so it looked more awkward than it really was. So after I colored in the shorts, it looked fine. Well, negativity aside, I am really happy with how her face looks in this middle drawing. Her hair as well. I think all in all, I'm just really happy with how she looked in the middle because the drawing was just a lot smaller, as in her face is a lot smaller, so I didn't have to work on it too much. I didn't put the little eye shiny in her eyes as well, which is my preference when it comes to drawing eyes, so maybe I'm just biased. Also for her hair, I did blend in a pinkish color, and that's not her hair color or anything. I just really like a blur blend from the skin color to hair color, and in this case I thought pink would really complement everything really well, especially since I sketch in red and it looks really nice together like that. It's almost as if it's part of the sketch as well. The entire time I really just thought about how soft it made the entire illustration look, or just how it pulls everything together. Here I am using that specific blue color I thought was really nice from the MEEDEN set, and then the pink from her hair is called Deco Pink, so I guess I knew good enough to show you the colors that I really like. I guess this is a great opportunity to actually talk about how I use colored pencils. Wow, why didn't I think about that earlier? But with colored pencils, I go in with very light pressure. I don't really press down too hard, mainly because my colored pencils are on the softer side, but also because once you press down too much, there's only so much layering you can do, and that's why a lot of times I start off with a color that looks almost invisible. So even with a darker color like this for her hat, I am using very little pressure and only burnishing when I am ready to set the color, if you know what I'm talking about. And also don't worry, with my colored pencil illustrations, I do spray them later on with a fixative so that I can have it permanently there and have it not ghost onto another page. But with all of my grays that I'm using, I am very light-handed on everything. So this super dark gray looks very light, and then I go in and feather everything out with a transitioning color. I also don't think using white to burnish your colors is a great idea. If you are looking for a colorless blender, I think the Prismacolor brand is really good. I have used it with my MEEDEN colored pencils, I've used it with the ARRTX and also Color colored pencils, and they work well with pretty much everything. It is not a white. A lot of times when I'm using the colorless blender, I get told, oh wow, it's such a great idea to use white to burnish all of the colors together, and I always have to reply that, oh, it's not a white, it's just a colorless blender. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe most colorless blenders are made from the same thing. So in the Prismacolor colorless blender's case, it is made from pigmentless wax and binder. So what you're really doing is when you're scrubbing it or burnishing on your two colors or your layers of colors, it's creating this heat that is meshing all of your colors together. So instead of using a white, which would lighten your color, the colorless blender is just smearing your colors together without changing it in any way. Also, I want to say thank you to my friend for helping me translate the phrase to Chinese characters. It says big cup Red Bull. Originally, I asked if she could translate, can I have one big cup of Red Bull? And it was just such a long phrase, I couldn't fit the entire thing onto the top. Not only that, but even these 4 characters being so small was already difficult for me to replicate. I needed the characters to actually look correct, I guess, and so with all of the words so small, I just couldn't do it. Also, the words did magically appear on her shirt, and that was because I had performance anxiety. I couldn't have you look at me while I was trying to figure out how to write them correctly, but regardless, I think I did pretty well. The Red Bull part is in red. And finally, we're doing my favorite part. Rendering out wrinkles for clothing is one of my favorite things to do, and this is the same digitally or traditionally. Of course, when it is done on my tablet or my iPad, it is a lot easier and quicker, but it's just so satisfying to see colors build together. And you see the grainy texture. Also, when it comes to colored pencils, you could just burnish or blend everything together. It looks so seamless and it is just satisfying to look at. Also, when it comes to clothing wrinkles, I like when it looks very sturdy, solid, and shapely, and I'm not sure if I can explain it properly, but if something looks like a square, I would just make it a square, but oh my gosh, now that I'm listening to myself, I make no sense. Let's talk about something else. Let's reroute the conversation back to world building for her. I would like her and her boyfriend to either live together or mayhaps really close to each other, since I want to have them as a slice of life couple, if you understand what I'm talking about. I just want to draw daily task, daily relationship things with them. One thing for sure is I do want them to be college graduates, and it's either they are now working at a job that they find really fulfilling or they're striving towards the goal of working a fulfilling job. I'm more so leaning towards her having a fulfilling job and then he is working towards doing whatever it is he is interested in. Look, I don't have a design for him, I don't know his personality, but I do want him to be exceptionally friendly and to be more introverted. I'm not sure if I want her to be introverted or extroverted, but she definitely talks more. And one thing I really want to do is, you know, when couples paint or draw each other during date night, that's something I really want to do. So maybe, well, I'm thinking about all of this with him not even having a design yet, so we really have to get to our next video where we design him. But maybe you guys can drop some name examples for him as well, like just what you feel would be best. You know, as I'm thinking about how he was supposed to have red hair and then her hair is blue, I'm pretty sure younger me wanted them to be quite a flamboyant couple. I'm sure there must have been a lot of piercings going on that I was thinking about, and they're supposed to be outgoing and expressive. But as I make more and more original characters, I can see that I gravitate towards more natural hair colors, and brown, black, and white are colors that I go towards the most because, I don't know, I feel like white hair goes with everything and black and brown does as well. Do you have a go-to hair color? Because my newest 2 original characters have white hair. Anyway, we are finally on the last drawing of this entire spread, and I think it's a good thing that I switched to a smaller sketchbook because now you get to see a full spread instead of 2/3 of the sketchbook. Also, as I was working on her face, I felt just slightly worried because this is the area that I erased 2 of the other sketches. I did use a kneaded eraser at first, but then because I was trying to get rid of everything, I ended up using a rubber eraser as well. I did see some of the paper fibers being more apparent on her face as I was coloring in the gray part, which is the color that we were using for the base of her skin before we actually put her skin color on top, so for the desaturation and everything. But I saw the little balls of color, but thankfully as I continue on mixing more colors on top and doing the burnishing, it wasn't as apparent, but when I look at the paper myself I can see it, though on video thankfully it's not all that unsightly. This idea just popped into my head, but I also want her to not be the most gifted when it comes to painting or drawing, so mayhaps during date night with the painting idea where they paint each other, hers might just not be the most aesthetic looking. However, he loves it either way, and maybe he, for some reason, is really good at painting. However, I do want her to either work in toy making or something in textiles. I might have mentioned this earlier, but I've completely forgotten at this point. Fun fact, I've been sitting here trying to record this audio portion for this video since 4 in the morning. It is now 12 in the afternoon. I really thought I would be done by now, but here we are. Hello. Since we are working on the hands right now, I want to say I'm pretty proud of how I did them. I did have to redraw them 3 to 4 times since they were just not where I want them to be, as in it wasn't positioned in front of her mouth. At first it was positioned much lower, so I just had to redo them. But I wanted to give her chrome nail polish, but I just didn't have it in me by the time I got to the 3rd drawing. I was kind of over it. Colored pencils, again, I just want to applaud everyone that uses colored pencils as their main medium. It is very time consuming, and also when you make a mistake, it is quite apparent. One thing for sure is I have to retire that tiny little sharpener on the upper right. It's such a horrible sharpener. The grip is just not there. I used to have this barrel shaped sharpener, however, it is missing, like my staplers and my tape. I think it's because I'm disorganized. It's definitely because of that, but I just have so much stuff in my room that's all over the place. It's all over my floors. I still have a printer that is disassembled on my floor that I have to get rid of, but I have to take it somewhere to recycle it. So yeah, I'm just taking out parts that I think are nice or pretty. Look, maybe I'm a hoarder at this point, but I also have 2 canvases that are fully gessoed and primed. I've stapled everything together and they're just sitting on the easel and on the floor because I don't know what to do with it. I would like to record something with oil painting, though my issue is because oil painting is so reflective, regardless of how I position my phone, what angle I put you on, it is very shiny and the glare is very just annoying because you won't be able to tell what I'm doing, but I would be able to tell in person. So maybe that's just something I'll have to do myself. You'll never see my process in oil painting, mayhaps. I do also get a lot of requests for me to do digital art as well for longer form videos, and maybe if I get enough people requesting it, I will do it, but it's just the recording process again is a little more difficult. Anyway, I really like how her eyes look because it reminds me a little bit of a husky, and maybe she just has a wilder and more chipper personality. Since I am mentioning the future of my channel in a way, since we're talking about video ideas and such, would you prefer that I have the same amount of shorts that I'm putting out right now and less long form videos, or I try my best to have more long form videos, but because of that, I am not putting out as many shorts? I'm just wondering, since more of you are probably coming to my channel because of my shorts rather than my YouTube videos. I mean, judging by how many YouTube videos I have and how many subscribers I have, it's very apparent most of the subscribers are here through the short form content, and so this opinion is pretty important to me since it is how you found me in the first place. And also, of course, if you have certain materials that you want me to use or try, I know clay making is something that was brought up a couple of times in my past videos, as in crafting with clay, making my characters and stuff, since I have a couple of shorts where I'm doing that. A type of video that I am very, very, very interested in making, however, are those OC lore videos, and I see the thumbnails for them all the time, but I just don't have it in me to click into them because I'm scared it's gonna make my For You page art related, and that's just something I mentioned earlier that I don't want because I already do so much art stuff. I'm surrounded by so much art stuff that I want my For You page to just be funny little book talk videos about book talk events and gameplays. But I do want to talk about my OC lore, but that also means I have to do the world building for my characters, and it's gonna take even longer than my usual videos, but maybe one day in the future, and that could be my digital art video. Wow, I'm such a genius, I'm so smart. Look, I'm so tired. I've been sitting here. We're 30 minutes in. We have 5 more minutes to yap, and let's see. My favorite coffee drinks are black coffee and an Americano, and usually I need it to have at least 3 shots of espresso, otherwise it doesn't do anything for me. I don't find black coffee to be bitter. I find coffee with milk and sugar to make me very sluggish, so instead of giving me the caffeine and energy I need to really work my way through the day, it makes me very tired. My favorite drink is a Red Bull, and currently I need 13 more Red Bull little tabs on the top in order to complete the cover of my sketchbook. If you've seen the cover of my sketchbook, you might have seen the Red Bull tabs, and this also means I have to spend a lot of money to get the drinks in order to do that. So Red Bull, if you're watching, please help me out. I just need 13 more. Maybe if I have enough time and the ability to drink so many Red Bulls, I could complete the back as well. You know, by the time we do our sketchbook tour in 50 years, I'm sure I would have completed all of those Red Bull cans in order to stick them onto my sketchbook. If I also do the spine as well, maybe in 60 years. So do really catch me during the time we do the sketchbook tour, because that would have meant I have drank all of the Red Bull in the world. Also, fun fact, I am recording the audio with my fan off, so I'm really sitting here sweating and like talking into the mic, and I feel kind of professional, you know? I feel like a podcaster. What else should I talk about? Oh, I get a lot of comments about doing Q&As, and that is something I just won't do. I am not somebody that likes divulging a lot of my personal information. It's the same way where I would never do a studio room tour of sorts. So if you have very simple questions like, oh, what is your favorite blah blah blah? What is your favorite food? Do you enjoy blah blah blah? Stuff that is not very personal, I can definitely answer those questions. Like, I love going to the beach because I live by the beach. Wow, me saying, I don't want to be too personal. I live by the beach. But yeah, I do live by the beach, and I like going on walks to the beach at like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, maybe 1 a.m. It's just very unconventional times when nobody is really at the beach yet. The water is just super clear, and it's really nice to just be out there by yourself. I wish I was confident enough to record myself out in the open drawing or painting something, but I'm not there yet. So until then, we will just be collecting Red Bull cans in order to take the tabs off of it so we can stick it on our sketchbook. Believe it or not, yesterday I was thinking about maybe going to the beach and doing some watercoloring. Of course, not recording it or anything, just doing it by myself and having fun with it, but I got really nervous, and so I just went to the grocery store instead and bought a lot of pepperonis. But I don't know, the feeling of drawing at the beach or doing art at the beach is very different than being at Central Park, but maybe it's because all the trees just makes me feel way more safe than doing it at the beach. But anyway, drawing the lashes is one of my favorite parts because it means the drawing is almost complete, and it's the meme where it goes something something like a reward, but as I was recording the lash section, it has to be one of the most difficult parts because when it is the larger things of me filling out the coloring, it's easy when I can't really see, but when it's something quite delicate and intricate like the lashes, it was hard for me, especially with the tinier face when the phone is in front of my face. So I was looking at the screen of my phone and then also doing the lashes. So it ended up being a little higher than I wanted it to be. And I used some white to section out her full body from the headshot. And I'm pretty proud that my sketchbook actually finally fits into frame now. So I think this change is good for me and maybe good for you guys as well. I'm super thankful in my past self for choosing not to color in her top on the left, because this would have really taken me forever. Seeing as we are on the final stretch, I want to say thank you so much for everyone that stayed until now, and I do try my best to talk throughout the entire video because I get a lot of comments where there are mentions of having my video play in the background as you are drawing, so it feels like there is some companionship happening and you're not just drawing by yourself. So I try my best, even though I'm yapping about anything and everything. So I do want to be more consistent, but of course, like last time, I'm never going to promise anything. But I am very thankful that you are here until the end and you spent so much time watching my video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.